Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Stoneblock 2. So, at this point I have finished doing the framework in here. So it goes, this is all facade, like every edge is facade. They do not connect in the corners, so that there shouldn't be any conflicting channel routes, channel paths. I went ahead and set up molecular assemblers here, and this is going to be for more of my general crafting, specifically in the room. Now, I don't necessarily need to have access to this. Like, I don't have to be up there to have access because of the pattern terminal and the interface terminal. Now, I am kind of thinking that I would like to have access to a terminal in the room. Maybe I actually want to have access to, a pattern terminal and an interface terminal in the room. We'll have to see how that goes. So you can see if we can make it. So if we make a terminal, we don't have. So we'll do that. We want to change that for an illuminated panel. So that the system actually knows how to make it. So we want to also look into a pattern terminal. Oop, oop, oop. A pattern terminal, which is going to be the crafting terminal plus, which brings to mind the fact that we want a crafting terminal. And then on this, we're going to want an interface terminal. Oh, that one. Wait. Oh, we actually want to use that one, remember. So let's void this pattern. Clear it. Alright, sorry about that. So now we should just be able to make these. So let's go ahead and look at our various terminals. Terminal. So we're going to want a crafting terminal, or an interface terminal for sure. We're going to want a pattern terminal also for sure. And I think that we can kind of dispense with the other ones, but we'll have to see. So let's go ahead and do we want to bring it down here? So let's look at our we'll fix it afterwards. Once it's in place, we can fix it. Let's do that. That's going to be faster. Let's light this up. It's just temporary. So we'll do this. I think that we have some fluix. We'll do that. Seems fun. Pull that off, pull that off. So, one of the interesting things about terminals is when you place them against a colored fluix cable, the terminal background is that color. So let's just go ahead and bring this up here. Now, we'll have to remember we've already got 8 channels coming off here. So bringing this down is going to add 2 more. And put our facades on. Oh, this is the wrong facade. So let's look into our dark oak facade. I don't think it's gonna. Well, dang it. That's unfortunate. I have no idea whether we can attach torches to it, so let's put torches back at least. But now we have our pattern terminal here, so we can go ahead and pull some patterns into it. And our interface terminal, which should... So these molecular assemblers are the ones right up here, and I've gone ahead and they've got the acceleration cards in them already. So now we can start really doing stuff as far as that goes. So we'd like to go ahead and set up the metallurgical infuser here. There's a weird lighting thing there. Oh yeah, you can see where the cables are by looking at that. It's fine. I'm not really sure that it bothers me too much. So with the metallurgical infuser, we're going to want placement, of course. How do we want to do this? So I'm probably going to want to go into the wall, or we could pull it out of the wall, but if we go into the wall slightly, we're just going to do this. We'll place like so. Yeah, I should probably have done this on the floor. Alright, so let's place our machine. We'll place the machine here. We'll need to place an interface on the back. Let's make 10. We're going to need a couple of these. Let's get back up here. So what the interface is going to do for us is that specific interface is going to be where it exports to. So we're going to tell it that we are auto eject on, front is at the back, output to the back. So now it is auto outputting to the back. And so anything that it makes, it'll auto output to the back. So we now also, well, it's going to be kind of a hassle, I guess. So let's make an export bus. So export bus, and then we're going to need another interface. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So bring this across. We're going to have one interface there, and we're going to have our export bus there, and we're going to tell it, so purple is this, that purple comes from the left and our input comes from the right. And then we're going to do this, and we're going to take our cable anchor so that we don't mix our channels up, and do that. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So, cable anchor, and then on the cable anchor, and then on the front. So now, we'll have 3 channels going through there. So 3, 5, 8. So see how fast this goes? Now from here, we're going to want to make a basic installer. Go. We're also going to want to make an export bus, or export. So let's get some redstone, because we're going to use this specifically for redstone. And we're going to need our first pattern. So in order to make these, it's going to be 1 iron. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and say metallurgical infuser. Honestly, I should rename those, shouldn't I? So if I pull that, we'll come here. Oh, this is gonna, we're gonna have a zombie or a creeper or something. I'm sorry. I guess you guys don't care. So we'll make 4 of these, and we'll say input. And then we'll say and I have broken it. I break a lot of things. Prepare for creepers. Nothing. Nice. I like this plan. Alright, so we're going to take one of these labeled input and we're going to pop it there. So now we're going to know that's not one of the ones that we're going to put recipes into. And we're going to remove this one, and we're going to say metallurgical infuser redstone. So now, when we look at the terminal over there, oh, almost forgot. You want redstone. So when we look at this interface, if we roll down, so input, so that's going to be coming into the system, metallurgical infuser redstone. So now we can just look at this and go, well, that's our metallurgical infuser for redstone. So for anything that we want to infuse with redstone, we can simply put into that system. It's going to make our life slightly easier. It's a little bit more set up in the front, but installer. Oh yeah, we didn't whack this with the installer. So let's turn auto sort on. It's just going to start filling up, and now the most important possibly thing ever. So we're going to take our flux point and we're going to say you are allowed to have power. We could actually put it on the top because we're not going to be using the top for much. There we go. More power. So now we just need some stone and we're good. And so a lot of our machines are going to be set up in much the same way. Oh, monkeys. So I want to remove just that, then place this, and then place the smart cable back down. There we go. So just that, place that, smart cable. Perfect. So this is our plan. And occasionally we are going to upgrade that, but for the most part it's basically done. And so now whenever we need, so if we look at the metallurgical infuser, uses, we'll need one for coal. We may decide that we want one for biofuel. So coal, we don't have to worry about bronze. I mean, that's fine. Maybe one for mushrooms if we decide we need to do that for mycelium. Seems likely not. Definitely one for diamonds and one for obsidian. So coal, diamonds, obsidian. Yeah. So you can see that there's not really a lot of recipes that we're going to be using. For the redstone, it's basically going to be osmium and iron. And that's really it. In fact, we could set that up now, osmium. Go ahead and say that if we have one osmium, and the other one is a circuit. And now we can come over here to this one and go, well, there's the metallurgical infuser for redstone. And now we have that. How's that for crazy? Like, we didn't even have to go up there again. So I would like to look at the various levels of installers, because the faster we get these going. So we're just going to set the patterns in here. Now we can't make all of the things for that, but you know, we'll be able to at some point. Basic, advanced, elite, ultimate. All right. So working our way up the chain here, we need, let's go grab another assuming that we need to make the steel casings, okay, assuming we want another infuser actually. So making another metallurgical infuser is going to require that as a recipe. Which means we'll probably need to do that. So let's throw this in here. And does it allow us to make it? So we need to teach it how to make furnaces. Kind of thought we did. And we'll throw that on the ground. Yeah, nobody's going to stop us. Alright, so we're going to need one for diamond, one for obsidian, one for coal. Let's go ahead and check the recipes that we're using just in case. So whole ROM, which I'm not sure what that is. Enriched iron, I don't think that we're going to need enriched iron, honestly, because we already have steel. So let's look at enriched iron and see what we can do with it. Enriched iron. So we don't need coal at all. So that's kind of a bust. But diamond and obsidian we need. Now, one of the things that's going to happen is we set this up and it requires 3 channels. So we've already got 8, 9, 10, 13 channels out of our 32 used up. So we're kind of running out of channels at this point. So what we can do is we can go ahead and do this. Let's make a peer-to-peer tunnel. And we're going to need a memory card. And we're actually going to start at the top because it's the most inconvenient place to get to. And it's actually going to get less convenient as we go. So let's go up the wall here. Oops. Let's pull our smart cable off of this, and then we want to well, actually let's hold up on the smart cable. So let's put a dense cable down first. Connect that. So now we have the smart cable. And then we're going to right click to link that. So you'll notice that it's colorful, and we have 32 channels coming off of it and 1 channel here. So we have turned 32 channels into 1 channel. And that's pretty handy actually. So from here, we can set up our next machine. Let's set it up. Let's see if we have one here. Kind of one there and one there. That'll work. Now I'm basically going to do the same setup here, is we're going to go into the wall behind him. And then we're going to set up the inputs. So these will automatically export into that. And I'm just going to duplicate that setup, but I'm just going to have diamond and obsidian going into this. And we have a couple of diamonds in the system, so I'm not super worried about it, but we are going to try and make that efficient later, because we'll be going through them. We'll be going through our diamonds pretty quick, because all of the high-end stuff is going to want to use diamonds. But I hope you liked the episode. If you did, leave me a like. If you didn't, don't. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. You folks have a great night.